over. Miami Dolphins has less than $1 million in projected cap space, but there's a ton of stuff they can do to open up a lot of room. Looking into this, they can cut Bradley Chubb, and that alone could save $19 million. He's coming off a really bad knee injury. Armstead, inexplicably, said, I'm going to pass on that $24 million. Give me $1 million. But looking into it, I guess he's contemplating retirement, and he's not ready to make a decision yet, and he wants to give the team all the room it has to all the room it needs to make different moves and make this roster better. And then if he does come back, I'm guessing there's some kind of handshake deal, like we'll find you money at the end, big dog, if you want to come back. So either way, I mean, I know you're a little more skeptical. You think it's a little more shady business going on here?
Yeah, Miami's always been a team late in the last couple of years to do shady shit.
They're checking the mail.
Yeah, there's a big envelope in the mail that's not labeled or sealed. But but good for the Dolphins for getting this guy to agree. And I want to see what the NFLPA has to say about this, because this is just a major pay cut. Like, you're supposed to be able to protect the players.
So Bradley Chubb, $19 million. Instead of doing that, it's going to save him about $16 million on the cap. And then if they restructure Zyler, Tua Tagovailoa, and Austin Jackson, that's another $31 million. So there's plenty of room here for them to make improvements to this roster. First off, I think you got to re-sign your stud safety. There's not a lot of blue chip talent on this team anymore. People have gotten hurt. People have gotten traded away. And Javon Holland's one of the few players that you drafted, is in his prime, and now he's set to leave. Don't let that happen again. Sign this guy. Give him what he wants. He's projected 4 years, $60 million. I give him that in a heartbeat. I think he's a stud. I think it's something for your defense to be built around going forward. And I think safeties are always a good investment. I think they're a lot of times great defenses have great safeties. You think about the Eagles just won the Super Bowl. How many times did we talk about C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Cooper DeJean playing some of that safety role? Like, it's just it matters. I think you re-sign this guy, you don't blink twice, right?
No, yeah, you sign him like immediately. Last year he had a down year, but let's not forget about his first 3 years where he was a very, very good safety. And like I said, I'm not in the business of letting players walk if they're good. You sign them, keep them, and just figure it out after that. And obviously, the cap space can be manipulated. Cap space is such a fake thing to be scared of. Like, they can work their way around it. Keep Holland. He's a very, very good safety. And don't believe me, go look at the deals that teams would give him in the open market. People would give him a lot to come play safety for them. So, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I would definitely keep him.
Moving on here, and I'll group these two guys together because the Miami Dolphins had the worst win rate against pass rush last year, and their guards were an issue. And I know Robert Jones was on the team last year. He dealt with some injuries. I do still think he's a good player. I'm not sure if you sign Javon Holland to that size contract, it is going to take off a significant part of that cap space. And so I'm going to splurge on one guy and kind of be modest about the second guy. The first guy coming over from San Francisco is Aaron Banks, guard. I think he's solid. I think he's just going to be a presence there in the middle of your line for a couple of years and not hurt you. And he's better in run protection than pass protection. And I like Aaron Banks here to start.
Yeah, and obviously there's a connection. Obviously, McDaniel and Shanahan run the same type of offense. So yeah, that's a nice, easy fit too.
And then Robert Jones, you bring back. You hope he's healthy, but he's pretty cheap. 3 years, $10 million for a second guard. I think that's a good place to land there. He knows the offense, familiarity with McDaniel, and just like that, you got Robert Jones and Aaron Banks, which is worlds better than it was last year. And then a familiar name you might recognize here that we just talked about. I like Justin Fields of Miami Dolphins. If it's not Justin Fields, Dolphins need to bring in some quarterback. It's time to be realistic. Tua is just a play away, and they all are plays away. But Tua seems like closer to being out for the season. Just the concussions are a real issue, especially when you factor in that he doesn't really seem too concerned with protecting himself. He kind of is defiant of his own body telling him to chill out. And so for that reason, I think you need to bring in a quality backup quarterback here. And why not go for Justin Fields? You're telling me you don't want to see an offense with Mike McDaniel's creativity and Justin Fields? with Devin A-Chain back there, all that speed, Jalen Wright, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, like so much speed on the field. Justin Fields, I think, would be a good fit here, and he'd have a real chance to play like this year.
Yeah, if you could just sell him on the idea without being a douche about it. Hey, any second you could be the guy. You could be like the guy to lead a team into the playoffs, or you might not play at all. That's gonna be a tough sell. I think for that, I would pay him a little. I would cut a lot of players. Like if you get Fields on a bigger deal, maybe pay him way more than maybe pay him $20 million. I don't even care. If you have that as a backup quarterback, that's better than most bad quarterbacks. Like there's not quarterbacks like that or backups that you can say, yeah, he actually could be a starter for most teams, but he's a backup for us.
Not to mention it with one eye on the future as well. Like if Tua doesn't start getting it done here, and like let alone his injuries, you have to start thinking like, okay, we might need to change some things up here, unless Mike McDaniel's just going to go down with Tua Tagovailoa and just be okay with that. I think Justin Fields maybe as a prospect for the future makes sense for the Dolphins as well. And I think honestly, he looked pretty cool in that Dolphins uniform. Yeah.
It's probably the best case scenario. Obviously, this is where doing the best case scenarios. Yeah, best case scenario they get Fields. That's a very, very good team with or without Tua.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel offense. I think by a casual fan, you would think he's this high fly, throw the ball everywhere type offensive coordinator, offensive play caller, and he's really not. This team has been elite at running the ball ever since Mike McDaniel got there. Raheem Mostert, now Devin A-Chain. Like we've seen guys cycle in and just be good just because of the scheme. And so I think Justin Fields is a good fit there. My draft pick is defensive end Mike Green. Mike Green, think prospect like you would know Nick Bonito. He's a pass rushing specialist. He's a sack artist. I'm not saying body type or measurables or anything like that. But as far as like what kind of guy I'm bringing onto my team, how does he impact the team? He's a sack artist. That's what he does. I think he's going to be good at that right away. And the Dolphins have had terrible luck with their edges, just getting hurt. Jalen Phillips. I mean, a lot of these guys, they just are going down with major injuries. I think you got to restock the cupboards here, and I think Mike Green's a good guy to do it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you in this scenario, you cut Bradley Chubb, so you don't want to lose talent at a position and just not fill it, or at least try to fill it. And the first round, and like any team, you can never get too much pass rushers. Like you always just stack them. Look at Philadelphia Eagles. Like look what they did this year. They just have about 4 or 5 guys they trust rushing the passer. So that's right. Yeah. So yeah.
Sports fans, are you ready to take your passion for the game to the next level? Introducing BETR Picks, the ultimate way to play fantasy sports and win big. With BETR Picks, you can unleash your skills by picking more or less of your favorite players' stats. And guess what? You can win up to 2,000 times your entry. That's right. Just imagine turning a small play into a huge payday. BETR makes it easy, exciting, and rewarding to participate. It's available in 33 states, including the great state of California, covering a wide range of sports like NFL, NBA, MLB, and so much more. Whether you're a diehard sports fan or just getting started, BETR Picks has something for everyone. And here's the best part. When you sign up using our promo code BENCH, that's BENCHD, you'll get a first entry match up to $250, win or lose, plus a free pick to get you started. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to elevate your game. Click the link in the description, download the app, and join the action today. Make sure you enter our promo code BENCH during registration to claim your bonus. It's time to play, predict, and win only with BETR Picks.